So here we are with a Fox News alert. Israel launching a new offensive into Gaza, striking the Strip's largest city, Gaza City, and taking down entire buildings. It comes as Secretary of State Marco Rubio continues his trip through the Middle East. Alex Hogan joins us now from London. Hey, Alex.
Hi, Brian. After weeks of preparing for an increase of force, we are seeing this new ground offensive begin in Gaza. It was a night of heavy strikes overnight. The IDF says that it has started this new early phase of its ground offensive in Gaza City. The city's hospital today has reported 20 deaths and as many as 90 wounded. The IDF says the number of ground forces will rise in the coming days as they warn civilians to head south. Defense Minister Israel Katz today says the IDF is using an iron fist and that Gaza City is burning. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is now in Doha. He's meeting with officials to discuss Israel's strike in Qatar on Hamas last week. And before leaving Israel, he stressed the urgency of securing a ceasefire.
We all prefer that this end with a negotiated settlement that leads to the release of every single hostage, alive and deceased, that leads to the demilitarization and disarming of Hamas, so they can no longer pose a threat, not just to Israel, but everyone.
It went on to say that this is a very short window of time that we are looking at, not a matter of months, but rather days and even weeks. Brian.
All right, Alex, thank you. Meanwhile, I'd like to bring in former Secretary of State, Fox News contributor Mike Pompeo. Mr. Secretary, you think this operation was necessary and inevitable. Do you think it'll be successful?
Brian, good morning. I do think it'll be successful. I think it'll be a long slog. They've been building this operation for weeks, getting ready for this. They've now told the civilians to clear out. I hope they all do. But they're going to go chase down every last leader of the Hamas military. And this is important that for Israeli security, you've got to go do this. I'm confident they can get there, but it's going to be a weeks-long exercise for them to actually chase these folks down, chase them out of the tunnels, and then get after them. It's now coming up on the anniversary of October 7th. We're just a couple weeks away from that. And the Israelis needed to do this to be successful and ultimately achieving their mission of both getting security for their people and the return of their hostages as well.
Do you think they know where the hostages are?
Brian, I'm guessing they know where some of them are, but not all of them. And I'm pretty confident that Hamas moves them around with some frequency. So it is a very difficult challenge. And one of the reasons they're having to go into Gaza is, as Secretary Rubio says, because the Hamas folks have refused to enter any serious ceasefire conversation and actually return those hostages home.
You're a diplomat, but you also have a West Point background, so you can do the military thing and you can do the diplomatic thing. Was it a good move for Israel, looking at the big picture, to take their shot in Doha, judging by the backlash that's come since then?
Brian, I'm not sure I know the answer to that, but the Israelis clearly believed that they needed to do that. It's those folks sitting in suits in nice offices that are directing the death and the threats against Israelis even today. And I know the United States would do this. We go anywhere always to capture folks that are trying to kill Americans. I think the Israelis are going to do exactly the same thing we would do to defend our own citizens.
We see Big Ben in the background. We know you're in the UK. We know the president's going to be in the UK today. Meanwhile, one of the big issues that the president's already brought up is the crackdown on free speech. Charlie Kirk brought that up at Oxford. Listen to this exchange.
Here in this country, you guys invented the idea of free speech. You brought it to the world. You guys do not have free speech in this country anymore. 30 people a day are arrested in the UK for inflammatory social media posts.
But when I look at Britain today, I see a country where the ruling elites are in a race to abandon the very values, the values that made them so great in the first place. This country just had its 14th uninterrupted year of so-called conservative rule. And what did they conserve exactly? Well, they didn't conserve the ancient British rights to freedom of speech.
Was he right? Is he right?
Yeah. Look, Charlie was spot on there. I've been here for a couple of days. I've heard this from many of my conservative friends here in the United Kingdom. It is the case that free speech rights are being curtailed in London and elsewhere. We've got a significant immigration problem in the United Kingdom. Those are deeply related. The United Kingdom is a place that we all know as Americans. We love them. They are great partners of the United States of America on security and economics, but they've got to clean up their act. They need to return to the very set of values that they've had for so long. And when they do, there'll be more freedom of speech, more economic success, and the partnership between the U.S. and the United Kingdom that President Trump's coming here to support today, it'll continue to grow, Brian.
Mr. Secretary, thanks so much. Always great to have you on. Appreciate it.